So welcome to the Mecum Auto Auction. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels, and you are watching flipping $400 into a Ferrari where I have $80,000 to hopefully buy a Ferrari or something really, really cool today. Yesterday was a bust because everything is so expensive, and add a 10% buyer's premium on top of everything that is so expensive. Today, fingers crossed, it's the last day of the auction, and I hope I can drive away with something really, really cool. You're gonna come with me and see everything that's here, some really amazing things, some $1 million cars, some $20,000 cars, a little bit of everything here. You're gonna come along with me through the whole day. My name's Craig from Flying Wheels. Let's get going. While we're on the topic of old cars, take a look at this 1930 Cadillac with a V16 engine on it. Gigantic headlights, twin horns, but going down the side, here's what's really cool about this car. So it is a convertible, does have your bench seat, throttle. You can open the throttle here, you can turn your headlights on, you can put it in park, all on the steering wheel. And then when you go to the back, this is your rumble seat. So this folds completely down into the car, or it folds up so you have your back seat. This is quite literally a trunk. This is where the term trunk comes from. It was a trunk on the back of your car. Hey, you know I want a Lamborghini Urus, but what about this one? Oh wait, that's not an Urus, that's a Bentley Bentayga. Or is that an Audi SQ8? Or is that a Porsche Cayenne Turbo S? Or is it a Volkswagen Touareg? All of which are pretty much the same car on the same platform. This Corvette is what really caught my eye. Wide body, pearl metallic green. Check out the color of that car. Now I do want a Z06, and if I can't get one, this will be the next best. The front end is lowered. It does have the front end lift. Look at those side skirts to the rear spoiler, rear bumper. Everything's blended perfectly on the wide body kit. I love this car. With an exhaust. I sold my Corvette, so I wouldn't mind replacing it with another one just for the fun of it. Wow, look at this. Supercharged. That's the exhaust right there. Supercharged 1935 Auburn BOATTAIL Speedster. That is really cool. Now, if you watched yesterday's video at day one, I told you I always know where to find my father. He's always at like a 70 Trans Am or a Camaro. And here he is right here, looking at his dream car, a 455 HD Trans Am. Is this a 70? 72. With white vinyl interior?
The white interior is the one I like. That's
the white interior is the one you like. Look at these stripes on it too.
Simple
wow.
muscle.
He's like a 17-year-old kid again.
Just a beast. Just very simple, but like tough.
After this Mecum series is over, it's back to my Crossfire headache. I'm going to try to bring it to the auction, see what I can get. That is a Crossfire here with 53,000 miles. Far cry from the dud that I have. Bentley Continental GT. I actually wouldn't mind having another one of these, even though I've already had one. This is a 2011, so slightly newer, lower miles, much cleaner. And it's a convertible. Mine was not a convertible. Honorable mention, good luck trying to climb into that Bronco. Hey, my Ferrari flip car might actually be here. Hold on a second. Right there is a Ferrari F430, I believe. This is probably going to be over my price tag. I'm at between $80,000 and $90,000. I have a Corvette that's tying up some money. It's a 2007 Ferrari F430. This is going to be more than $100,000, unfortunately, so it won't be in my budget just yet. I'm more of like a 360 Modena, but that is on my radar. I'm going to go from a 360 to a 430 and keep working our way up. Actually, tell me about that 302 you were telling me about. Where was that?
The Camaro yellow one, 302.
Where is it?
Right to your right.
Okay, so this right here, tell me about this car. Because it's just a 302 to me. Why is it so special to you?
Well, Chevrolet, I don't know the full history, but Chevrolet made a 302, and a lot of people back in the day used to say, no, Ford makes the 302, the 5-liter. Chevy made a 302 race motor. I think they call it the DZ302. This car revs higher, goes faster, it's quick, very, very rare. It's like a race car that people don't realize it. And they always think, oh, 302 is the Ford, but Chevy made it for a while.
Hideaway headlights came in the RS, the Rally Sport, right?
Yeah.
The Z28 package came with what?
So the Z28 was a performance and suspension package. The RS was the Rally Sport package. And the Rally Sport gave you like the Hideaway headlights, some different gauges, some interior stuff. So it's really cool if you can find an RS SS. Makes it worth more money, you get more options. And those Hideaway headlights, I mean, they're just iconic, classic. Can I show you what I really want out of all these cars? Yeah. It's unaffordable to me right now, but I will have one. So I had the Corvette. It was useless because I have 3 kids and a wife. We can't all fit in it. I need something that fits the whole family, that's utilitarian, but that's really cool and sporty and fun. Makes
right?
sense, yeah.
Right there. That is a Lamborghini Urus. Same car as an Audi SQ8, as a Bentley Bentayga, as a Porsche Cayenne Turbo S.
But this is the upper echelon. This is as good as it gets.
This is a 4-liter twin turbo, the same engine that's actually in my S6. All-wheel drive, but it's tuned differently.
So this car in a 4-liter twin turbo puts out 641 horsepower. I love saddle brown interior.
So this is how I can have a Lamborghini and still be able to be a family guy.
So it sounds silly, but even just looking at the wheels and tires, 22-inch wheels, 40s, you know the thing can perform because they want it to stick to the road.
Look at those rotors.
I want this car out of everything here. This, I can't afford it yet, but mark my words, this is the car I'm gonna have eventually, one day. Hopefully when I get the Ferrari, I don't even want a Ferrari that badly anymore. I'm gonna get the Ferrari, sell it, and make my way to an Urus.
Can I ask you a legitimate question
Yeah.
about this though? Do you think this will outperform that 72 Trans Am?
I mean, it might not turn as many heads, maybe?
Right.
It might not turn as many 60-year-old man's heads, I should say.
If you're gonna crop dust, can you just tell me so I can go the other way?
I didn't think you would notice.
So my father's really into trucks now, old trucks, which actually make a lot of sense because he lives up at the lake. He wants to go to breakfast with it, go to the dump in it. He'll probably use this more than a muscle car because it's actually useful. But the reason I'm showing you this is because it's kind of a bummer. Somebody's pant leg must have caught this today and it pulled it off the car and bent that. What a bummer. This Riviera has something really cool about it. Check out this LS1 engine. So we have the LS engine right here, twin intakes that go to this little boxy area, right? Then we have our headlight, but then we have our hole where a headlight would have gone, gets the air into the intake a little bit faster. What I want to know is that...
Would have been the high beam way back.
Is that a
when.
high beam and a low beam now?
Yeah.
So did they switch
1972, this would have
Yeah,
been
one
low
with a
beam
high
and
beam,
high
one with-
beam. What they did is they probably wired in a dual filament bulb, so they have high and low beam in here, and now they use
so.
that
With this
as
much
an
work,
intake.
I assume that is true.
Right. But look at, did you see the boat tail rear end on this? That's what, they're kind of like iconic.
Boat tail rear end it's called.
Oh, look at this. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Look at the subs and stuff.
Anytime I throw out like random weird car knowledge that's just random, it's because for my entire life, my father would always say, hey, check this out. Did you know that? Hey, did you know this? So that's where I get these little things where I go, hey, look at this. Do you know why it's like this? Because of him. I'm really excited for today because there are some very affordable cars. Yesterday, 100 grand minimum, you got to pay to play to get anything yesterday. Today, there's reasonable cars here. I might be able to actually buy something today. Fingers crossed. I don't know what it'll be. Like Mama says, you never know what you're going to get. I can tell you one thing that I'm really, really excited for. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute. Before I show you the car that I'm really interested in, my father had a really cool thing I want to share with you guys.
He had a 428 Cobra Jet, identical color, grabber orange. The decals were faded, the original paint was faded.
Tell me what you just told me.
I was saying, one of the things I look for, and one of the gentlemen we were just talking to said the same thing. If you find these old cars that people say are original, if you look and see the way the paint used to wear on the body lines, you can see the old primer. This is actually a good sign. This is probably an original car. If you look at the way from washing, waxing, buffing, paint just used to weather. But that's where you can tell this is a pretty straight car.
Can I show you something I'm most excited for that might actually happen? It's right over here. What's ticking? Ah, check this out. Does this have a horn? All right, I just sold my 2LT 22-vet hardtop convertible for $88, which is what I owned it for. I sold it to a YouTuber that watches, so if you're watching, thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying it. I do miss it, but I'll move on.
Same car, but this is a 2020 hardtop, not a convertible. So it's a coupe. I'm curious to see what this goes for. They appraise it at 100 to 115.
And it's less of a car than mine is. We'll see what that goes for. So that Bentley value is about $31,000 if I was going to buy it somewhere. It's at $37,000 plus add another $3,700 in fees. So no Bentley for me. Oh no, the battery on the limo is dead and everything is sold as is. So I don't know what could be wrong with that thing.
I do know I want it. Hopefully it's just from sitting with the lights on.
That's a gamble. Like I could be driving back to New Hampshire from Florida in a limo that has issues. I really like this. 3,500. I want it for 3,500. That Cadillac, I talked to the guy, the battery's dead, #1. Service engine light soon, and brake light was on, and it's a North Star. Like, everything's going against it, and I still want it for $1,200.
Londonderry, it'll be $1,200.
It would be $1,200 at my house.
Here it's $12,000.
Right, we'll see.
All right, I'll bet you dinner again.
It'll be $12,000.
He'll never bet me dinner. Get him to bet me dinner.
At least mine had an LT1 350. This has an aluminum North Star that's probably overheating.
Yeah, it's going to overheat, right?
It opened up at 5. I thought it was going to keep going down, but there's somebody else that wants that more than me. $9,000 more than I wanted. Jeez. I guess I don't own a limo. This diesel Land Cruiser deserves to be on video. There is so much involved in this car. Really take a minute to look at it, because every angle you find something new that's cooler than the last angle about this car. All right, right here is a 2023 Chevy Corvette Coupe, so not even a convertible. It has 730 miles on it. Mine had 2,000 miles on it. I sold mine for 88,000. Let's see what this one's doing. This is a year older, not a convertible. All right, it's at 85. I expected to get more than I got for mine because of the location anyway. So it's actually at 80. Trying to get 85. Add 8,000. Okay, so they got 85. Add $8,500 as a buy fee. So they did get more than I got, but the mileage is 730 miles. How do you buy a car like that, brand new, and 3 years later, only put 730 miles on it? Wild. My dad's dream car, the 70 Pontiac Trans Am 455, is going to
40's actually not really that bad for that car. I know I nitpicked it, like the body lines are a little off, but 45,000, that I've seen it selling for 100. They estimate between 60 and 80.
What's cool about this car is watch the shift. He's playing with the CORVETTE control right now. Alright, here we go. Finally, something that might be in my price range. It is a standard transmission and it has 33,000.
Now bringing us up to the 1932 Ford Tudor Street Ride.
33,000 miles. It says retail on this. It's pretty high, actually. 14. So 14 seems high to me. I like it for under 12. 10 is great. One owner. 12 grand's fair. 14 to 15. So that went up fast. 20. I'm doing it wrong. I need to be buying cars and bringing them here, clearly. 20 grand. Plus $2,000 buyer fee. 18 plus $2,000 plus $1,800 buyer fee. I need to buy cars all year long, clean them, fix them, store them, and bring them here. That is what I've learned from being here this week. Hey, I have one of these in a 6-speed transmission that is not nearly as nice as this one. This one's automatic, 53,000 miles. I'm curious to see what this sells for. I'm just curious to see what it sells for. Currently at $12,000. Which quite honestly actually doesn't sound that bad for a fun convertible with 53,000 miles. You guys know you were watching, I wanted that limo. Someone just came up to me that watches the show. It's his limo. He bought it at Manheim auction right up the road. I said it's like $3,000 limo. They bought it there, brought it here, and it's sold, right? Yeah. Unbelievable. They made money. It's genius. And they have a couple too that they ship down from Michigan, and they sell them here, and it rings the bell here. Here's something I'm curious about. This is a 1994 Mustang COUPE. Is it a 94? Yeah, 94 Mustang COUPE. It has the badges, has the wheels, but it doesn't have the hood scoop, and it says SVT on the rear, but it says Mustang on the bumper. Is that how it was in 1994? I know these are 1994 taillights. Only in 94 and 95 you get those taillights. It is SVT here, but Mustang right there throws me off. And then I know that hood, like, it came with larger hood scoops in 97, 98. Did it in 94? Oh, it says COVETTE on the, it says it on the plenum. So it is a real COVETTE.
you gotta be careful because all these cars are red light. You don't know what you're reading. And a lot of times for odometer, you don't know if it's actual mileage because it just says odometer states whatever the mileage. It doesn't say actual or not actual. So with that Cobra, it has the Cobra front bumper with the larger fog lights. It has everything. And it really is a Cobra. You can see the front bumper right there. It just throws me off that it says Mustang on the rear bumper.
You guys tell me, did 94 Cobra have a Mustang rear bumper, or did it say Cobra?
What show was that car?
2005 car. Can you figure, you know what show this car was in? Currently finishing a show. No, I don't know what show. Only hint I'll give you is E. Nothing else. E. No idea. 66 Corvette. He's hot on it, and I know you're still debating it. This is actually, is this the first car we ever bid on?
Yeah,
we did bid on it first, and then
up to 45.
It was done.
It's at 60.
I'd like to get, that would be one I would enjoy.
Hey, at least we can leave here saying we bid on some cars.
Look at our code Super Cobra Jet. My father had one of those that he paid 10 grand for.
That was in high school. That was a long time ago.
Hey, how did Mach 1 do, Cobra Jet? Hey, a poorly painted Fox body. This is right up my alley. Supercharged at least.
How cool is that? That's why it pays to be nice to people and network. You never know who you're talking to.
So shout out to Dallas, one of the auctioneers at Mecum. Gave us some great information because I had met him yesterday. We had some conversations, and you talked to him today.
Super nice guy.
And he just gave us some great information of what sells, like what doesn't sell, what does sell. And it's not all about the expensive cars. I woke up this morning thinking I need $1 million in inventory to bring here. You don't. Everything sells. We met another guy who watches the show who was just on earlier. He brings $5,000 cars and sells them for $12,000. So there's a little bit of everything here for everyone, and they're getting all the money. So Dallas, thank you very much.
There's that green Corvette coming up soon. And a Ford GT.
This is interesting because this is a Shelby GT, which actually we haven't even seen one yet.
No, this is the first one.
Plenty of GT500s. No Ford GT, no Shelby GTs. You had
This identical car, bought it brand new.
number 232, just sold it this summer for $27,500, no fees. So like out the door, he cleared $27,500. I'm curious to see what
This Shelby GT goes for with 1,100 miles.
I hope it's not another Bronco story.
I could have bought a Bronco for 50 and it sold for, what was it? 150? 100?
Whoa.
How about an SLR?
If I could only afford one.
Another question for you.
Maybach, how do you pronounce the name of this company?
I said it once and I said it wrong and everybody condemned me for it.
Look at, oh my goodness, look at these seats.
If I had this, I would just have my wife drive and I'd sit in the back seat all the time.
The more I look at this, the more I like it. I love this body kit. What were you saying?
Pain you would suffer with the first rock you hit in New
Oh
Hampshire.
God, I know. It does have a front end lift, but this is not a New Hampshire car. It's a Florida car where everything's flat. And then I'd have to tear the tint off the windshield. I'd have to put a front license plate on it, which would drive me crazy. This car is not meant for New Hampshire. Oh, wait, don't give up just yet, Craig. We got another Ferrari California. Is today, hey, an info card. Is today gonna be the day? 2014 California, 4.3 liter, 83 horsepower.
5,500 miles. That is not in my price range.
I do want to check out this ample car though. So, car, boat, amphibious vehicle. The boat registration on the side. Everything's rubber lined.
I want to hear this Corvette run. Wow, that sounds good. This is why you have to be so careful at the auctions.
Look at this right here. So this is a 2006 Shelby GT8. GT Hertz is a rental car.
But what my father noticed
That's what it looks like.
was you said they came in automatic because the rentals?
I thought the Shelby GTH only came in automatic. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong, but there's way more to that. So when he lifted
The hood, he noticed this is just a standard 4.6. There's no Shelby badges, there's no Shelby emblems, there's nothing that indicates Shelby
They
on
didn't
this
have
car.
that on the intake, you know, on the.
Right, and then that's actually a 6-cylinder, like that looks like a 6-cylinder horseshoe. But there would be a Shelby plaque right there, and the gauges are different too, aren't they, in yours?
And if you open the doors, I don't think it matters because anybody can put on it. Should have Shelby door sills.
Oh, right there, it should say Shelby on yours.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is somebody put on a Shelby badge right here, so you really need to be careful. And when he looked at, and they're I guess replica Shelby wheels too, but they're really close. And if you look at the badge, it actually says Shelby Hertz GTH. It says Shelby GTH call out, as in replica, but it doesn't say replica, which can be really, really confusing.
So somebody could literally pay 26 to 30 grand for something that's not, it's a GT.
They bought a Ford GT with some decals.
My college car. That's what I had in college.
TR7.
TR7.
You're gonna end up with a TR7
The
today.
shape of things to come. That's what they used to, that was unbelievable. 1980 Triumph TR7. This was my freshman year of college car. I used to take your mother back up to Plymouth all the time in this back and forth, go 90 miles an hour and thought I was gonna die in it because it's completely unsafe. But unbelievable. I want this car. Might have to buy it.
Fun fact, I was conceived in this car.
The slogan was Triumph, the shape of things to come. And this is what it was, the TR7, the wedge shape.
You're gonna end up with a Triumph today.
The only problem is I got in an accident with this car and I drove right underneath the car I hit because
It's so
it was the shape.
aerodynamic, it went right under the car.
I went right underneath.
Push it by the spoiler, you get better grip. Just kidding. I'm really hot on that Corvette, but to me, body kits don't make cars worth more. Like somebody probably put another 30 grand in wheels, suspension, tires, exhaust. I want the car, but it doesn't make it worth more. I still want it for 2020 Corvette prices.
I agree with you. I like the color and what they did to it, but the body kit doesn't make it.
Is that worth more than mine that was $88,000? Like, would you rather mine that's completely stock, or would you rather that
Paul,
right there?
would you like to meet somewhere in the middle? Say like
I'd rather yours.
And a year older?
I'd rather yours.
Mine was way easier to sell. That would be a tougher sell, but it would be a good time.
The money you spend on it like that, you have to plan on not getting back.
Right. I agree with that. But we're going to find out at auction if that's true or not. 22 SEMA cars, so I probably saw that car out in SEMA. It's at $120,000. I'm either too cheap or unrealistic or both. You do get your money back in custom modifications, I guess, if you bring it here.
120,000 a bit.
Didn't sell, they actually wanted 150. The book says I could maybe find one of these for 158,000. I don't think that's right, because this is saying retail is 250. This has had 5 owners already. It says 2019. There's a weird story behind this. How does it have 5 owners? Like, you buy it, you sell it. You buy it, you get sick of it, you sell it. That's crazy. It's an Audi engine. 150. By the time I'm ready to raise my hand, it's past my budget already. So I'm out. That's actually a great price.
170, 160, 70, 170, 170, 190. 190,000 a bit. Sooner. Not going to be 190. 190,000 if it goes on.
Now offering you 147 a bid and no
Great question. All right, so this Ferrari Enzo has a cracked windshield in it. How do you get a windshield for a Ferrari Enzo? Does Ferrari even make windshields for the Enzo anymore? How do you get them? I would love to know if somebody knows the answer to this stuff like this. The auction's almost over, but I want to show you a couple things, some honorable mentions, which I love to show off. This is a GMC Cyclone, both of which might be the fastest 2 cars under this tent. My friends behind me said there's no way, that's not possible. What about the ZR1? Yeah, the ZR1 is definitely faster and it definitely handles better. Off the line, these 2 all-wheel drive cars are unbelievably fast because they just hook up and go. And with twin turbos on their V6s, the Corvette had an LT1 350 V8. Well, these 6 cylinders were the same V, just minus 2 cylinders. So they're the same engine block, minus the 2 cylinders, and 6 cylinders, add 2 turbos, and then all-wheel drive, and they just go like rocket ships. I want to put 2 special guests on camera real quick. So when I started my dealership in Orlando, which is, I'm in Orlando right now. When I started my dealership, I started from my house. I always tell you guys that. I was selling cars out of my driveway. There were 2 young bucks, little boys, across the street that used to come over and watch me wash my cars and then help me vacuum them out, clean them up. They're not young bucks anymore. Here's the size difference. These 2 guys used to help me. Denzel, Dominique used to help me. They essentially helped me start my car dealership because these are the guys helping me wash cars, clean them, and you guys learned about your cars back then, long ago.
now you're still car guys. What do you drive?
2017 Chevrolet Corvette C7.
What did you just get rid of?
Dodge Charger Scat Pack.
Scat Pack. They're car guys. I'm taking all the credit for that now. Yeah, and right behind him also, ZL1 Camaro. 3 car guys right behind me that joined me in Orlando for the auction. Do you have a YouTube channel? I'll give you a shout out.
Follow me on The Story of Shiny Mouth if you're trying to see the ZL1 on the track. Follow me, The Story of Shiny Mouth.
Here you go. Shout out. Help him out with his channel. Something interesting that I thought I'd just add because those guys couldn't believe how rusty this car is, and I was explaining what patina is. So this car isn't actually rusty. It's made to look rusty. Sometimes you can paint it to look rusty, or you can sand it down to the metal finish, and if you spray on some vinegar water, it creates a rusty surface like this, and you can see the vinegar run down, and then put a satin clear over it to make it look this way. There are lots of ways to make it look like a patina. This could actually be paint, which it probably is. This looks more like a paint than an actual, it looks more like an artificial rust than an actual created rust. Yeah, this one is a paint, but it's really a cool finish. And for people that have like those rat rods that want to create that patina, it's actually really, really simple. They spotted something that I didn't even know was here. Wow, that Mustang sounds good. That is a Bugatti. I have never seen a Bugatti in real life before. Let's go. Oh my, that's a Bugatti limo? That's a Bugatti limousine. Wow. I've never seen anything like this before. What? Featured in Pitbull's green light. 244 miles since new. Is it a real Bugatti? No, it's not. Like, that's a Chevy shifter. It's just meant to look like a Bugatti. I really have no idea. Obviously not Bugatti wheels. And
Wyatt 9000 right here with Nick.
That is so cool. Is it? It says
9, 10, 9,000, 10,000. I have the max 95, 10. 10, 5.
Wow.
10, 5.
This is really, really neat. So I did learn a little bit about that Bugatti. It does have a Bugatti front end and a Bugatti rear end, but it's actually on a Lincoln chassis. It has a Ford 4.6 liter V8, and it was featured in Pitbull's music video, Green Light. And here it looks like we have a Ford Excursion Duck Tours edition. This is an Amphicar amphibious vehicle on an off-road 4x4 rugged vehicle. 6,000 miles, 26 hours on the jet drive engine. Look at it, is a Ford Excursion. I can't even imagine what this thing weighs. There's another Chrysler Crossfire, 10 Gs. Maybe I'm underselling my rat. 2 different times he's asked for my bidder badge when I left, which means he's warming up finally, 3 days later.
He knows I'm cheap though, so he trusts me.
He might be starting to think he's gonna bid on something. Like that right there. Me, on the other hand, I still haven't found anything I really want. Because I don't need anything, that's the problem. Who signed that car? I have no idea. This is an 04 CTSV with 63,000 miles in a 6-speed manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, LS1, 350 V8, 5.7 liter, 350 V8. I've had several of these. They're a ton of fun to drive, and I have 3 kids, so they're family friendly. Again, shouldn't be buying for myself though. The one that got away for you was the ZL1 that was 14 grand. Really a great deal. So much so that the guy next to us ended up buying it, and he told us what a great deal he got on that. Yeah. So he wanted a ZL1 we didn't get. Mine, the one that didn't get away, is that Bugatti. I'm so bummed about that. 75 grand. Ton of money. Add the fee, 77.50 on it for the fee. I had that much into my Corvette, and I couldn't use it with my family. If I had a Bugatti limousine that Pitbull had a music video for the same price as a Corvette, I could make a million videos on it, take it to every concert, every function, have a blast with my entire family. I'm bummed that I didn't buy that car.
That truck sold for $15,000. The transmission, the rear end, and everything else are good. This was 200,000 miles.
Yeah, starting to get sour on our day 3.
I sound like you, that's right.
You sounded like me yesterday. It's really frustrating to come here and not be able to buy anything because everything is all the money, but we knew that.
So annoying.
We knew that they get all the money here. So we're deal shoppers. I've said this the whole video. It's pretty much the theme of this video. We're deal hunters.
Well, let's put it in perspective. To rush back and bid $6,000 under a bidding price on that truck. I dropped my phone, cracked the screen, and trashed everything.
Yeah, and then it went for 14 grand on a 200,000 mile pickup truck.
Right.
He's getting sour in his old age.
So can I call dibs on this?
No, I get. You know this is my dream car. I'll give you the Trans Am.
No, I get dibs on this one first, but I'll only go up to 35. If it goes over 35,
I'll get
you
36.
can-
Yeah, great. You can get the great deal. So this right here, last car of the day for me because I am flipping exhausted. My dream car. This will go in the garage next to the red one. Probably won't ever sell it. The thing is, it has 50,000 miles, which is high for this car. So it's due for some services, but it's definitely something I'm interested in. Wouldn't mind leaving. Imagine the third to last car of the day I leave with my car.
I don't want to pay 60 for one of these.
No, not for a 60,000 mile one.
No.
My Viper has 9,000 miles. That's the type of Viper I want.
Last call, Brett. 65, 67,000, and I have. Thank you.
70 grand.
Sold 65,000. Sold 65,000.
12 grand in
Now I'll
fees.
bring you 3.
So what we were just told was they sold $235 million worth of cars at 10% on both sides. So buy and sell, right?
23
So
million.
23 million, so $46 million in commissions
47.
this weekend. $47 million in commissions. Don't forget that extra $500,000 on each side. Yeah, wild.
I didn't get my Viper. I didn't get my Camaro. I didn't get my Ranchero. Definitely didn't get the Trans Am.
Not a
And-
single Trans Am after all those Trans Ams.
No, and even the 200,000 mile Chevy two-wheel drive single cab
Didn't even get that.
didn't get that because it went for $20,000.
There were a couple cars. Every once in a while, we found something that was a fair price, a good buy that we let get away. ZR1,
The ZR1 we
Subaru Beetle.
should've- Yeah, but you know what? If we had gotten the ZR1, then you and I would have had to fight for it. You would have gotten hurt. So
Yeah.
it's probably better off you didn't get it.
Right. The auction is officially over, and I am leaving with a big fat goose egg. We got nothing. I learned a ton, like an invaluable or valuable. Make some money. Next time I come back here, I'm gonna plan accordingly. This week was more for research anyway. I learned a lot about what to do, what not to do, and not pay 10% buyer fees on top of retail prices. Mecum, unbelievable. I mean, it was the best car show I've ever been to. It was a great time. I had so much fun with my father. So Mecum was a bust. And because we're in Florida, I'm looking for some straight Florida cars. We're on the way to look at a GT500, and on the way, I spotted this in a guy's driveway, 3000 GT, and I think it's a VR4. I'm just gonna knock on the door and see if they wanna sell it. So I walked up to the driveway and the guy walked right out and would consider selling it. The only thing is, wah. It's an automatic, it's not a VR4, but it is a rust-free Florida car. So it's probably an SL, I think these were called. Automatic. Clean though, with leather, and a lot has been done to it. This car is pretty sweet, and that is not the original paint job. You can see there's some overspray here, there's some overspray in there, but it's really clean. It fired right up and sounds healthy. Paint was done 6 months ago, you said? It was a prop car for his dance studio. 148 on it. You undersold it a little bit, because I thought you said 200, so I thought it was at the 200
Well,
mark.
I mean, I'm not off.
Yeah.
I have, we were selling it with a Ducati. We're gonna sell it together with a Ducati.
You have a Ducati as well?
I do a 999.
And you'd sell that?
Yeah, I'm letting it go. It's kind of like a dream bike I have.
Yeah.
So I'm letting it go for about 8,000.
What do you think would be the number for this?
16,500.
16,000? 16,500. If it was a VR4?
Yeah. Yeah, I still know that it's still
right.
a collectible.
It is, yeah, it's a cool car, and I have a couple of cars in my collection.
That's what everybody says. You know, if it was
Yeah.
a true VR4.
Oh yeah, they're just so desirable, but you can't find many of them anyway, so even if it's an SL, they're still pretty neat to see on the road.
Yeah, still runs really good. shifts
Turns
really
heads.
Nice. It's nice. Yeah, I get a lot of good. I probably
Yeah.
could take care of it a little bit better, but other than that, man, it's still a little toy to have around, you know.
Did you do the headlights like this?
Actually, my friend actually did the headlights like that.
They did a great job.
Yeah, they did it like that down in Miami.
Yeah, they did a nice job with it. What year is this?
95.
95. I love seeing these things on the road.
Yeah, man, I actually like the car. It runs really good.
For me, it's ties up a lot of money in a collection. Yeah, I thank you so much though.
What did the guy say about the 3000 GT?
The 3000 GT had 148,000 miles. It was an automatic. It was not a VR4. He wants, it was repainted
not that well.
Let me guess the number he told you.
Okay, I'll tell you to go high too. Go.
I was gonna say he wants 9,500.
He wants 16.5.
Oh my God, 9,500 is ridiculous.
It's a $2,500 car because it's really not a collector car. It's not a VR4. It's an automatic. There's nothing special about it except that it's not rotted.
I literally thought I tripled it at 9,500.
I thought I was just gonna find something cool in a guy's driveway, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't use it. You know, it's a base model. What do you think it's worth? 2,500, 3,500, something like that." And then I get a Florida car that I can bring back and make kind of cool, but I can't spend 16.5. A VR4 is worth 16.5.
What was the Dodge Stealth was similar,
The
right?
Dodge Stealth Twin Turbo RT.
I had one.
Yeah.
It was a cool car. Yeah. I literally bought it off an older woman who loved the car.
That's what I want.
I bought that car. It was a white one. Remember when we lived in Florida?
Yeah.
I had nothing but problems with that. I changed the computer in that car 3 times, and they wanted $1,200 to $1,500 every time, and it would never fix it.
That car would be triple in value.
And the car weighed like 4,000 pounds.
But that was the 3 big JDMs. So it was the Supra, the Skyline, and the VR4 3000 GT. Those are the big ones. So here's the GT500 07, 73,000 miles. It is a driver. You look at those wheels, they are pretty banged up. And the car gets used. I mean, it sits out in the sun, well, the shade, whatever, in his driveway. These are painted mirrors because you can see the textured finish underneath there. And then that wheel's in decent shape. A little bit of curbing right down there. Some scuffs, some chips. These are aluminum hoods, so they always oxidized around the bottom. And the only oxidation is right there. And then there's, let's see, there's a dent right here and some paint chipping. That can't be repaired with like PDR, so we'll have to fix it and have the whole car painted, the whole fender painted and blended, because if I just spray it here, it's gonna be a tough blend. Chips there. But it has been tuned with new pulleys, new belts, and he said it puts over 560 horsepower to the wheels at $24,000. And it is kind of misaligned here. Like there's a big gap here, and it gets smaller there, and it looks like there's some overspray inside there as well. So this is a driver. These mirrors were repainted. You can see the textured finish. Yeah, the bumper's kind of coming off there.
Now watch, see the gap, how wide?
Yeah.
Now if you look up here, see how narrow?
Yeah.
Now, that's just a hood adjustment from the
I thought the hood was open actually because it's popped up a little bit.
See this?
Yeah.
Now, and if you look at it, you mentioned this earlier. See that GT500?
Yeah, that decal.
That looks like an aftermarket decal.
Yeah, that decal's off too.
So with those lines and those couple things that we noticed on the bumper, I think there might have been something going on here.
Yeah.
So I was just talking to the owner, and he mentioned that when I mentioned the GT500 logo or sticker, he mentioned that originally this car had black stripes and someone changed the stripes.
Oh wow, something happened.
So something probably happened to this car.
Yeah, the auto check shows 5 owners and no accidents, so that's actually even worse, because if it shows the accident, it means it was repaired at a repair facility, insurance claim. Showing no accidents, there's a story behind it. I'd stay away.
So it's the little...
Yeah. He wants what?
Wants 25.
25 for that car with 73,000 miles. Like 19 would be our like dealer price. If we were at the auction, 19 would probably be realistic. 25 is high, and there's a backstory to that car. Unless you're gonna use it every single day as just a driver that's a toy, you don't care about it, it's not something I'd want in a collection. And it's gonna be a hard resell because everyone's gonna look at it the same way we looked at it.
Yeah, and that little wrinkle on the fender is not really an easy fix, if you ask me. To get it straight and to blend it is not as easy as you would think.
So Mecum was a fail. Not a fail. We learned a ton about it. I had a great time.
Too.
As far as buying things, it was a fail for buying things. So we started to venture off and see what we could buy around here. Just still,
I think we should have bought that ZR1 and the Bugatti, but
I should have bought the Bugatti limo, and you could have got that ZR1, the 96, the C4 ZR1.
It's about feeling good when you buy something. Not about spending 100 grand and then going, oh, I spent 100 grand. You want to spend the money and then have fun with it.
Yeah, that high. Like, we're chasing the high.
Yeah, and it's the number you talked about. It depends on the number. That Shelby right there, that car for 17, I'm excited.
Yeah, and you know what? You go home with your high.
Yeah, I'm having fun at 17. 19, I can live with it.
Yeah.
25, no.
You don't love the car anymore.
Right.
I can get over things if I love the price. It makes me like the car more. If I overpay and then I pick apart the car, it's like ordering a $160 steak and then having it overcooked, which we did last night. Luckily, it wasn't overcooked. If it was very good. The steak wouldn't have been as good, but because it was expensive and it was good.
That was by far the one and only most expensive steak I've ever seen in my life. And it was good, but I will tell you, $160 for a steak.
Tomahawk. But if it was a cheap steak and it was overcooked, whatever. You get what you get. You don't get upset. Pay for it, you want premium. That's the point. I'm going home. We're about to catch a flight. It was fun to say the least. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see y'all later.